welcome to the Sisters of the Shire podcast. I'm
Woo! Sorry.
And you are...
Go on.
Go on.
You're who?
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Abby. And I'm, I guess, too excited to be here today. I'm actually excited because we've been trying to record this episode for the past,
Hour.
And our silly computers have not been working with us. So let's hope that this works. Prayers
Fingers
to...
crossed.
What is his name? What's the god in this
Iluvatar?
story? Yeah. Praises to him that this will work.
Okay. So, how are you?
I'm good. I have, I don't know, just been chilling. It's still summer break. We still have like 3 weeks of summer. I'm so excited. What was I gonna say? Oh, I wanted to tell you, I learned this weird fact, and you probably already know. You know a lot about Tolkien stuff, but I just learned about it and I was like, what? And I thought I'd share with you. And just act excited if you already know what it is about. Fiend gasping like, what? Okay.
Okay. Acting skills in place.
Acting.
Should I be like Amy in The Big Bang Theory? No way.
What? Oh my gosh. I cannot believe it.
It's my favorite scene of that whole show.
So I was on TikTok, and
the tickety tock.
My For You page is very catered to me, as is it's supposed to do, that all those algorithms and computer science stuff. Anyway, so I have a lot of Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit stuff come up on my For You page. And I was scrolling and I saw this lady singing in a harness for like stage production, like flying harnesses. Mm-hmm. And she was like floating down. I don't know if she was like supposed to be on a swing or whatever, but she was like singing this like super beautiful song. I was like, what is this? And then I found out it's a Lord of the Rings musical.
No way.
I knew it.
Actually,
I don't know, but I was like, because I was super confused, because I was like, first of all, I've never heard of it.
That scene literally looks like something from Cirque du Soleil. Cirque du Soleil. I can't.
Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, I'm confused because
you want to think it's elves, but like,
and the people in the comments were like, this is Galadriel singing to her husband or whatever, and I'm like, okay, yeah. But that's not Lord of the Rings though. Like, that's not part Lord of the Rings. Is that like people, I feel, when they're talking about Tolkien stuff, they lump it into the umbrella. It's like, oh, it's Lord of the Rings. It's like, no, actually, that would be another story, but that's not Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is his
everything
own story.
Everything is LOTR.
Yeah, everything is his own story. It doesn't have to just be, oh, that's Lord of the Rings. It's like, no. Like, that's like, anyway. When I was watching, I was like, it looks really pretty, but I don't think that it's Lord of the Rings. I think it's like, I'm like, is this... I think it would be beautiful if they did the Silmarillion like a musical, because it has so much music in it. Like, music is an important part. But I'm thinking that I don't know. I that's the only part I saw. I didn't really dive too much into like researching about it. But people say that the soundtrack's really cool. But for me, it's not. It kind of makes me nervous because I'm like, I've never heard of this before, and I'm a huge like, I like musicals. Like,
very big in our family.
Yeah, very big in our family. Musicals are very big. So I'm like, if I haven't heard of this before, does that mean it's like not great? You know what I mean? Like, is it
Well,
very B
okay.
production, very off Broadway? You know?
Okay, so here's the thing. I first heard about it when there is actually a song between our two favorite characters. Frodo and
Oh,
Sam have a song together. And
okay.
okay, yeah, that is exactly the reaction. Like it's they're like on the road, like they're on the journey, and they're it just the two of them,
Uh huh.
and it does come off very, very cheesy. Like I see what they were trying to do, but it does come off very
Is
cheesy
it
and
like
kind of
too? Is it like too Broadway? Is it
yes.
like too campy? I think it would be
Yes.
super funny if it was like them walking along and then like Mary and Pippin do the thing from Monty Python and they're like the minstrels in the background because that would be funny.
Yes.
Brave, brave Sir Frodo. So it is Lord of
It's
the Rings. Like it's actually
it
the
is Lord of the
story of
Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Okay. Because
Yes.
I'm like,
It's hard
okay,
to
I know
tell.
Galadriel's like in it. Like I've read the books, I've watched the movies countless times, but her like
Role
and
in
her
the Lord of the Rings
husband
books
are
isn't
not
yeah.
like even her husband isn't even you
Well,
know.
I'm sure they took some artistic licenses. Like that part looks cool, and then you see the part with Frodo and Sam, and you're like, are these the same show? Like, it just
Oh
like
man.
one seems more Celtic woman, and then the other one seems more what's that? Spamalot.
Oh.
Like
Well,
I don't know how they're the same, but they're in the same. That's the vibe I got. I have not seen it. Apparently, there's like no full recording of it anywhere. And fun fact, what's his name?
it better be fun.
Oh, it's fun. Uh, Graham McTavish. Do you know who that is?
Absolutely not. I do not
Okay.
know.
Okay. So for my Outlander fans out there, he is, um, oh, the uncle. What is his name? It's gone from my brain. But he is also Dwalin.
Gandalf?
Dwalin.
Oh,
The
okay.
the
In the
one
Hobbit movie.
in the Hobbit movie. So like if you're trying to remember which one Dwalin is, and I'm gonna just confirm that I have the right Hobbit or
No,
the
dwarf.
right dwarf. Sorry. Yes, Dwalin. He is the one that in the very beginning when all the dwarves are coming to Bilbo's house, he is the second one that shows up. So like you have the first one that's the really old white hair, and then the second one shows up and does like the awesome like headbutt scene with him.
Oh,
That is
okay.
Dwalin. He's like the beefiest of them all, besides Thorin, I think.
Uh-huh.
So that actor, he tried out for the musical, and he didn't get the role.
Oh no.
But then he tried later in when The Hobbit came out, and he got it. His name is Dougal Mackenzie in Outlander. Sorry, that was really going to
Dougal.
bother me. Dougal. Yep.
Clan Dougal.
Clan Mackenzie.
Is it Dougal from Brave? McDougal? Dougal? Anyway.
Anyway, so I just thought that was funny. Like he has a whole book with him and Sam Heughan, the other guy from Outlander, and he's like, "Yeah, I love Tolkien's work, and I love Lord of the Rings. I tried out for the musical, and yeah, I didn't get the part. They said I wasn't good enough. So then I tried for the Hobbit, and I got it.
Yeah.
You did it,
Dreams really
Graham.
do come true.
They do. Okay.
Anyway, well,
Anyway, long tangent.
sorry that was like a long tangent of something, but I'm excited to learn. Okay, last time we left off, you left me on a cliffhanger, and it was a scary, sad cliffhanger of the trees being killed and stabbed and sucked of all
Mm-hmm.
their light by that nasty spider lady. And
Mm-hmm.
then it drowned them in darkness.
Ungoliant.
And now it's
Mm-hmm.
all dark now, and they were just having a party. They were just having like a big old feast, and then everything went sideways, and now they're all Tolkis is stuck under a blanket. No, a mat.
Still my favorite part of that whole chapter.
And Melkor is just causing a ruckus, stirring up some bad vibes.
Yeah. So the only things I want to re-emphasize that happened last week was that when Melkor was convincing Ungoliant to, do this secret mission with him, he offered her a deal. He said, quote, "Do as I bid, and if thou hunger still when all is done, then I will give thee whatsoever thy lust may demand, yea, with both hands." And this is very important later because we found out she's very hungry. She's got a very big stomach, a very big appetite. She eats both of the trees. She drinks the wells of Varda. Like, it's just all gone. And also, as she eats, she becomes bigger and darker.
No, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And then I also want to remind you that during the feast, everyone went to the feast except for the Teleri, the kind of ocean water people.
Uh-huh.
And Feanor's clan, including his father Finwë, the former king of the Noldor, they were still in Formenos kind of supporting Feanor in his banishment. But Feanor was actually commanded to go to the feast by Manwë, where he kind of had a quote-unquote reconciliation with Fingolfin, his half-brother. Remember, Fingolfin's
kind of nodded,
yeah, where thou lead, I will follow, and he's like, I guess. Like,
dude, rude.
And when Melkor and Ungoliant left, it was all black, and the blackness was very alive. It had power to pierce the eye and to enter heart and mind and strangle the very will.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so that's where we left things.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I guess.
So, after the tragedy, the Valar hold a meeting in their favorite meeting spot, the Ring of Doom. And they had to hold their meeting in the dark, of course, because the two trees are gone. There's no light. Manwë did use his wind power. I want to know if he used his arms like wings or if he blew like a dragon. I want to know this information, Tolkien. So anyway, he uses his powers to clear away, quote, the vapors of death, so they could at least see by starlight.
What if he's just twirling really fast?
Oh, like in Super Mario, when you hit the flowers and then you go ding and you spin.
Yes. Oh no, there's a movie where like in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where they spin really fast and then all the leaves and flowers go everywhere.
I need to
watch
that's how they fly movie again. Okay, so they're able to see by starlight. Starlight is the only light that they have. And I find it odd. He mentions that, they had to have their meeting at nighttime. But I'm like, so if the trees are gone, how do you know if it's night or day? It was just why even bother specifying, Tolkien? You're making no sense in this universe. Anyways.
It's a darker black at nighttime.
So Yavanna walks up to the sad remains of her two trees. And she, goes to touch them. Yeah. And as she goes to touch them, everything just falls apart in her hands. Everything is just truly dead.
Like ash. Just
like ash. Yeah.
Oh.
Quote, "Then many voices were lifted in lamentation, and it seemed to those that mourned that they drained to the dregs the cup of woe that Melkor had filled for them."
Wow. That's pretty bleak.
Yeah. But then Tolkien decides to confuse me because he adds right after that, quote, "But it was not so." Like, is he saying that Melkor's not finished with them yet? Like, I'm confused what he means by that.
He has to keep us on the edge of our seat. Can't just like give it away too easily, I guess.
So then Yavanna says, quote, "The light of the trees has passed away and lives now only in the Silmarils of Feanor. Foresighted was he. There is some work that they may accomplish once, and once only." It's very important. "The light of the trees I brought into being, and within Ea, or Earth, I can never do so again. Yet, had I but a little of that light, I could recall life to the trees before their roots decay. And then our hurt should be healed, and the malice of Melkor be confounded."
Huh.
So it sounds like a good plan, right? I mean, there are 3 Silmarils. He did use her light to make them. Yeah. I don't know if using, quote, "but a little of that light" would like break them or make them powerless. But, you know, he could at least give her one, right? Like, that's not, I don't know.
Don't be selfish, man. Yeah. Like,
okay.
Or is he selfish?
So I'm going to quote a lot of the book here because this is a very momentous event. I'll paraphrase or cut down the quotes where I can, and I'll also make some comments in between to break it up because shit is about to go down.
But shit already went down. Oh no, more shit.
More shit. Okay. Manwë says, quote, "Hearest thou, Feanor, son of Finwë, the words of Yavanna? Wilt thou grant what she would ask?" Like, Feanor, are you going to say anything? Did you not hear her?
Yeah.
Quote, "There was long silence, but Feanor answered no word." And I can just totally imagine his face kind of like scrunched up in anger and frustration, like, "I don't wanna."
Yeah, he's like pouting, he's like,
yeah,
crossed arms, like, no, no, they're mine.
Yeah. Quote, "Then Tulkas cried, 'Speak, O Noldo, yea or nay, but who shall deny?'"
Net at this time, because that would be so no, like just like in the corner, just still under net, like not even looking in the right direction, just like, hey.
So he says, "Speak, O Noldo, yea or nay, but who shall deny Yavanna? And did not the light of the Silmarils come from her work in the beginning?" So I love this nickname, Noldo.
Yeah.
And I just love the impression of Tulkas we get here. You know, he always is a strong, buff guy, but he is a total softie. Like, who could deny Yavanna? Like, I couldn't do it.
Oh, he's like Thor and Kronk mixed together.
Yes, that is an excellent. I like it. Quote, "But Aule, the maker, said, 'Be not hasty. We ask a greater thing than thou knowest. Let him have peace yet a while.'" So I love that Aule is actually trying to support Feanor here. You can tell that he has put his heart and soul in his creations before, and he kind of understands what a sacrifice this would be to Feanor. But I do also find it interesting that he says, "we ask." So, I mean, he's not even trying to be on Feanor's side. Like, he's fully on the side of the Valar. We are asking for the Silmarils, all of us. But he does understand his hesitation and the sacrifice this would be to him.
But also, quote, that's kind of selfish to like not just help out everybody else. And he's
just like, you wait.
No.
Just you wait. Quote, "But Feanor spoke then and cried bitterly, 'For the less, even as for the greater, there is some deed that he may accomplish, but once only, and in that deed his heart shall rest. It may be that I can unlock my jewels, but never again shall I make their like. And if I must break them, I shall break my heart, and I shall be slain, first of all the Eldar in Aemon.'"
Oh, sheesh. Drama. Dramatic much? Also,
a little dramatic.
Also, like, people in Tolkien's world are very emotionally attached to their sparkly stuff. Like they're just like, if I don't have it, I'll die. Oh.
Yes. My precious.
Yeah.
So a part of me is actually is torn with this statement. I guess mainly because I don't understand what the Silmarils are, and I don't think anyone really understands. But like if I made a really cool piece of art and someone asked me for it because they really needed it, would I be all dramatic and basically tell them that they might as well kill me? But also, do the Valar need the two trees? Like, was it just a light source, or do the elves actually need it as a means of growing and producing their food? The Valar don't need food. They made that clear that when they talked about the feast, they're saying that they would like have the bodies of that look like elves, so they ate like elves. But I don't think they actually need to eat. But the elves do.
You're saying like, is it more of a fancy light feature that they're like, please can we just have it back, or is it actually beneficial to their like living situation where they need it to live or need it to provide food or whatever, or are they just being like snobby like, but I want my pretty nightlight, like please.
Yeah, so that's why I'm kind of on the fence. Like, of course, my automatic first thing is like, oh, man, he's so selfish. But on the other hand, do they need the trees?
Yeah.
And then also on the other hand, of course, this is me not knowing anything about what the Silmarils actually are other than jewels, because they're clearly more special than just a shiny rock, you know? But
they're like gushers filled with light. They're special light gushers.
But if it was something that someone asked me to give up that I made myself, like my child, like my baby,
we need your baby and we need to break it open and take all the stuff out of it.
Yeah. So then his response doesn't sound so dramatic. Like, if you did that, that would kill me. Like,
well, he says that it's like a living, not like a living thing, but it has like a spirit to it. Like it's like organic. It's like he made life in a way, kind of. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe he's like Geppetto and Pinocchio, and he's like, oh no.
Again, I think of like a will-o'-the-wisp encased in some kind of like a crystal. So it's alive, but it's a different kind of being. I don't know. That's just what I imagine in my head. So then you're asking to do whatever with it. Yeah, murder it. I don't know.
Set it free. You don't get it anymore.
Yeah. So he did say, you know, I would be the first elf to be slain. And then
from
Mandos,
what? A broken heart?
Apparently.
Over dramatism?
Yeah. So then Mandos says, not the first. But unfortunately, at that time, no one knew what he was talking about. But we'll all find out later.
Oh.
So Mandos is actually referring to elves that were quote-unquote slain. So Muriel, Feanor's mother, didn't count. Up to this point, she was the only elf to have ever died.
Okay. She was the first. Oh, his mom.
His mom, yeah.
Who he claims fell asleep.
Yes. But also, but in reality, now that I think about it, she died from exhaustion. We'll just say that. And now Feanor's saying that he's going to die of a broken heart, basically. Like, I kind of see...
And this family's drama.
The drama.
Like, geez. Yeah. Calm down, okay? It's not that... it's not that cool. Like, it's not... Like, geez. Okay, anyway.
Quote, and again, there was silence, while Feanor brooded in the dark. It seemed to him that he was beset in a ring of enemies, and the words of Melkor returned to him, saying that the Silmarils were not safe if the Valar would possess them.
So it's like he did it again, where he's like, remember I told you they're not going to be safe. The Valar will want them. And then like, or what he predicted last time came true again. And he's like, dang
with Fingolfin taking the throne too.
Yes,
that ended up
like,
coming
dang
true.
It, this guy is right.
Yeah. And I can kind of empathize with Feanor here a bit. Like, he must have felt really ganged up on like all these Valar just like staring at you, like, so you gonna give it to us or what? Like,
yeah, they're like,
how could you tell them
in, like,
no?
this like city square kind of situation, and he's like standing there like in the middle of the party, and then like they all just kind of like whoosh, and they all like look at him, like all the people just staring at him. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Huh? And he has like food in his mouth, like, oh.
And also, what did Melkor and Feanor think would happen if the Valar were to have the Silmarils? Did he think that they would like waste them away or something? Or was there like a power in them, like kind of like the One Ring that could turn an elf or maybe even one of the Valar into something like Dark Galadriel when she got all crazy? I mean, it doesn't specify, but there's more to these Silmarils than shiny rocks.
Yeah,
but I'm
it also
curious.
reminds me of that scene in the first Avengers, I think, when Loki's like to Captain America, he's like, "You should check out what they want to do with the Tesseract." And then he's like, "What?" And then he goes and finds out that they want to make weapons or something out of the Tesseract energy.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe the Valar would have done something like that. Who knows? So then he kind of has this inner monologue with himself, and I kind of love that he did this. Quote, and is he not Vala, as are they? Like, is he not one of the Valar too? Said his thought. And does he not understand their hearts? Yea, a thief shall reveal thieves.
True.
But I find that a weird quote to say. Like, if a thief is revealing other thieves, like, he's a thief. His credibility is kind of shot. So nothing he says,
trust, like, I feel no one.
Like, it was him. It wasn't me. It was him. Like,
yeah.
And then I also feel like this is another time when he's having this like inner monologue with himself, that the angel and devil from Emperor's New Groove could have totally helped him work through this.
No, he's got a point.
He's got a point. Quote, then he cried aloud, this thing I will not do of free will, but if the Valar will constrain me, then shall I know indeed that Melkor is of their kindred.
Yeah.
Again, I'm torn here. Is he being a selfish drama queen, or is it actually unfair of the Valar to be asking this of him? I can't decide.
Mm-hmm.
Quote,
I don't know.
Then Mando said, thou hast spoken. Then Nienna went to the remains of the two trees, and her tears, quote, washed away the defilements of Ungoliant, and she sang in mourning for the bitterness of the world and the marring of Arda.
Oh, that's so sad. I mean, it probably would have been beautiful, but it would have been so sad.
Mm-hmm. Definitely Enya vibes there.
Mm-hmm.
So, quite a lot there. And unfortunately, things are only going to get worse for Feanor.
I mean, he's really setting himself up. He's hasn't have a great track record of like keeping the peace and being helpful.
But I also think, like the story of Sleeping Beauty, Maleficent is obviously the villain. She's got bad intentions. She's a bad fairy. But then you watch the story, the movie, like Maleficent, like, and you see, different side of the story. Like, so I wonder what if there was another story for a lot of Feanor's actions.
Yeah.
That we'll never know. But like that, I posted that thing with like the fly like with Feanor, like pretend I'm going to show, my dad my new armor. Oh, look, a fly. Get thee hence. And then he's like pretending to like hit it with a sword, and then he like accidentally hits Fingolfin with it, and that's how the threat actually happened. I mean, we don't know. So, after all that went down, messengers from Formanos arrive in Valinor. Remember, Formanos is the stronghold that Feanor was living in with his dad and his sons and all of his clan.
Who's living in there? Say that again.
Well, Feanor was. That's where he was kind of doing his banishment. If that makes any.
But his dad is there, and other people are there.
Yeah, remember they went with him. That's why they weren't at the feast.
Oh, I thought it was just like his sons and his wife.
Yeah, his dad's there too. That's why Fingolfin got the crown.
Ooh.
Yeah. So these messengers arrive in Valinor with very bad news.
Oh no.
After
even more bad news?
Even more bad news. The worst bad news the worst bad news that Feanor could receive. So after Melkor and Ungoliant attacked Valinor, they went to Formanos, and Melkor killed Finwë, Feanor's father, the former king of the Noldor, and spilled the first blood in the Blessed Realm. That's what they called Valinor. For Finwë alone had not fled from the horror of the dark, meaning like the dark of Ungoliant and Melkor, like showing up with their darkness. Even worse. And on top of that, maybe not even worse, Melkor stole all of the gems that he had been hoarding, and even worse, the Silmarils were gone.
Oh no! So it was like a distraction almost.
Yes.
I think, how sad would it be where he's being all dramatic and he's like, if you take these Silmarils from me, I'll die. I'll be the first one to die. And then he's like, actually, like, that's
what Mandos was saying.
Your dad died first. Like, because
that's what
yeah.
That's exactly what Mandos was saying. He's like, not the first. You'll find out later. You'll find out here in a minute.
Oh no, that's so sad. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was so brave.
Yeah, and I love that. Yeah, Finwë stood up to them. You wonder if he is like, no, these are my sons. You can't steal them. They're my sons.
Yeah. Oh, don't make it any more sad.
Or these are my grandsons. I'm gonna protect them.
Yeah.
Quote. Then Feanor rose, and lifting up his hand before Manwë, he cursed Melkor, naming him Morgoth, the black foe of the world. And he cursed also the summons of Manwë and the hour in which he came to Tanaquil, the Valinor, hit their throne on Valinor, thinking in the madness of his rage and grief that had he been at Formanos, his strength would have availed more than to be slain also, as Melkor had proposed. Then Feanor ran from the Ring of Doom and fled into the night, for his father was dearer to him than the light of Valinor or the peerless works of his hands. And who among sons of elves or of men have held their father of greater worth?
Oh, that makes me sad.
Yeah. So, do you think Tolkien is saying here that if Feanor had to choose between the Silmarils and his father, he would choose his father?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, he gets some credit back to being like a good. Yeah. He has some good in his heart. He isn't a selfish person.
That's what I'm saying. He is a complex cat.
It's sad because like he's like, okay, I guess I'll go. Maybe what if he has like the guilt of like, I went to this feast, but I left my dad and family over there, and I wasn't there to protect them or whatever.
That's exactly what he was saying. Yeah, if he had been there, maybe he, wouldn't have died. And then this this command from Manwë, Manwë and Mandos do have some kind of foresight.
Yeah.
Do you think that they saw this event happening and that's why they commanded Feanor alone to come to the feast?
Then that would make them jerks.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's not all black and white.
Yeah.
So
Sad.
everyone is sad now. Feanor is sad about the death of his father. Yavanna is sad that her one hope of saving the two trees, in the Silmarils,
so he doesn't even have them to give to help them anyway.
Yeah. Is now in the hands of their greatest enemy. But the one thing that they can't help but ask is, like you were just saying, if Feanor had said yes and let Yavanna have the Silmarils or a Silmaril, if things could have turned out differently at Forminos. Like, I don't know how far away, like, it looks far on the map, but I don't know how fast they can move.
Yeah.
If things could have turned out differently, if they would have been there before Melkor got there, if they would have been able to fight off Melkor. But they'll never know. So, Melkor finally has the Silmarils. He's doing a little happy dance. He got what he wanted.
Things are looking up things are coming up, Melkor.
Yes. And he and Ungoliant are making their escape from Forminos, and they're traveling through Ahriman. I can't decide how I'm going to say that. Sorry, I keep going back and forth. Remember, this land is in the north, kind of like Canada-ish. Okay. And then they move on to the Helcarax, which is like the Alaska or North Pole. Quote, where the strait, like meaning the straight water, between Ahriman and Middle Earth was filled with grinding ice. So they're traveling. Grinding ice, yeah.
Grinding ice.
Yeah. So they're traveling through Ahriman to the Helcarax, which I basically imagine as like islands and glaciers of ice. Like, it's not even like livable. It's just hopping from one thing to another. And then on the other side is Middle Earth.
Okay.
So they're traveling through this very cold, very treacherous terrain. And for some reason, Melkor thinks that he can lose Ungoliant somewhere along the way.
Oh, jerk. She does all the work.
Yeah. She's a giant spider, though. She ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Quote, and her cloud was still about him, and all her eyes were upon him.
Yeah.
Multiple eyes. I was been wondering which form she takes. Is she closer to an elf with spider-like things, or is she closer to a spider with, elf intelligence, I guess? But all of her eyes suggest closer to a spider.
Like a legit spider.
Yeah. But ginormous.
No thanks.
Yeah. So they're getting actually closer to Melkor's old fortress, Angband, where, I'm not sure if you remember because it was a long time ago, they had that battle with the Valar, and Tolkas had to go in and, basically pull out Melkor from the dungeons.
From the caves, shadows.
Yeah. And then they didn't think to check all the dungeons because they weren't thorough. And so some of the bad guys got away. And yeah. So that's when Melkor was all chained and stuff. So Angband, old fortress. So they're getting closer. And Ungoliant can tell that he is trying to get rid of her. And she knows, if he gets to his fortress, then, I can't stop him. So she stops him before they get there and demands that he fulfills his promise to her. Quote, yes. Blackheart, she said, I have done thy bidding, but I hunger still. Like, really? What could possibly fill this giant spider's belly? But also, it's not like she didn't get anything out of the deal here. She's like, you didn't give me anything. Yeah, he did, though. Like,
yeah.
And then Morgoth. So now he's referred to as Morgoth in the books, just in case you're wondering why I keep going back and forth. What wouldst thou have more? Dost thou desire all the world for thy belly? I did not vow to give thee that. I am its lord.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Like, you're literally on the run from the Valar and you call yourself the lord of all the world? Like, you're homeless. You have no friends other than this giant spider you're trying to, like, get rid of. You might want to scale down your title a bit.
Yeah.
Then
I could see him, like,
says,
doing this with, like, a sassy, like, his head, like, to one side, and he, like, looks her up and down, like, I am the lord of this place. Do not talk to me that way.
And then Ungoliant says, Not so much, but thou hast a great treasure from Formenos. I will have all that. Yea, with both hands thou shalt give it.
Ooh.
You knew that both hands promise from Melkor was going to bite him in the butt later.
Uh-huh.
So Melkor reluctantly gives her the gems that he stole from Formenos, and she just devours them one after the other. And with each gem, she just keeps getting bigger and darker. And somehow she is still hungry.
She's a toddler.
Very much so. Mom life. Oh, man. Quote, with one hand thou givest, she said, with the left only. Open thy right hand. Like, haha, nice try, buddy. You think she wouldn't notice your other hand?
Yeah.
Quote, in his right hand, Morgoth
He's a sleight of hand magic. Like, whoa, look over here, look over here.
Quote, in his right hand, Morgoth held close the Silmarils. And though they were locked in a crystal casket, they had begun to burn him, and his hand was clenched in pain, but he would not open it. Nay, he said, thou hast had thy due, for with my power that I put into thee, thy work was accomplished. I need thee no more. These things thou shalt not have, nor see. I named them unto myself forever.
They're mine.
I literally have that typed out. They're mine. Unfortunately for Melkor, though, Melkor Morgoth, throughout this whole ordeal, Ungoliant, I mean, she's had a pretty big diet of light, and she's only gotten bigger and darker, while Melkor somehow has, like, lost some of his power. I'm not sure if he gave her some, kind of mentions, for with my power that I put into thee, like, maybe he, like, gave her some power, or maybe the pain from the Silmarils, or maybe he's just, like, tired from all that hiking across the things. I don't know. Quote, and she arose against him, and her cloud closed about him, and she enmeshed him in a web of clinging thongs to strangle him.
Ooh.
This sounds terrifying, but seriously, isn't he supposed to be, like, the mightiest of the Valar? Like, you can't even handle this spider? Also, web of clinging thongs. It's literally the word thongs. What a visual. Any girl who has been to Victoria's Secret and tried digging through that bin knows exactly what I'm talking about. Quote, then Morgoth sent forth a terrible cry that echoed in the mountains. Therefore, that region was called Lamoth. I can't decide. Lammoth. Lamoth.
Was it the Wilhelm scream from, like, Star Wars and stuff?
Yes. Apparently, Lamoth, sorry, still deciding, translates to, quote, the Great Echo.
Huh, that's pretty cool.
And yes, did it sound like the Wilhelm scream? Did it sound very feminine?
It's goofy. It's like doo hoo 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 hoo. Yes. Like when Goofy falls down like a ravine.
Yes. Quote, for the echoes of his voice dwelt thereafter, so that any who cried aloud in that land awoke them, and all the waste between the hills and the sea was filled with a clamor as of voices in anguish.
Ooh, scary.
Yeah.
It's like when you hear cats fighting outside and you're like, what was that?
But like imagine walking up to like a valley or like this mountainous area and like you like stumble over something and go ow, and then all of a sudden ah! Like, but also, I try and think about like where did Tolkien come up with this idea? Like I know a lot of his ideas for like things came from his life or from his studies in like mythology and history and stuff. A lot of the Lord of the Rings stuff, I'm not sure if you knew this, came from his time that he spent in the I think he was in the Battle of the Somme, which was supposed to be like the worst battle in World War I ever, like the bloodiest, most horrendous. So like, was there an instance in his military career that fueled this nightmare?
Yeah, maybe he like they were trying to sleep at night or something, and then like the people were having like night terrors and like screaming at night.
Yeah.
Scary.
So, yeah. Every once in a while, I'm like, where did he come up with this idea? Where was the nugget that, or the seed that planted this fresh hell?
Ugh.
Yeah. Quote, "The cry of Morgoth in that hour was the greatest and most dreadful that was ever heard in the northern world. The mountains shook, and the earth trembled, and rocks were riven asunder. Deep and forgotten places that cry was heard."
Wow. That's intense.
Yeah. So, like, everyone seems to have a power. Nienna has magical tears, almost got the water, and Ungoliant, has got the dark. Maybe Morgoth's real strength is, like, really good lungs.
Yeah. No, he's just, like, maybe he was in a screamo band. That's why he was, like, his first musical thing was him doing that, and then that's what became of it later.
They're all doing Enya, nice singing, and then all of a sudden he's got his screamo trying to drown it out. Oh man, that's a visual. And it's a good thing that Morgoth has such great lungs, because this epic cry even reached down into the deep caverns of his old fortress, Angband.
I'm sorry, there's a baby. There's a baby.
Speaking of epic cries.
Wow. Well, we have a special guest now on our episode.
Hi, Oakley.
This is little Oakley that will probably squeal in delight and add in his own little thoughts on the matter. So, okay. So he let out a really big scream that everybody's like, what the heck was that?
Yeah. Okay, Oakley, you ready for a scary story?
There's spiders, giant spiders. And a lot of selfishness. Yeah. It's basically a book about manners, Oakley. Like,
quote, "In vaults to which the Valar in the haste of their assault had not descended, the Balrogs lurked still, awaiting ever the return of their lord. And now swiftly they arose. They came as a tempest of fire."
So they heard this like epic, scary scream noise, and they're like down below in the like caves, and then they're like, oh, "It is our time."
Yes. I was even wondering, like, what were they doing while they were waiting? Like, go fish, I spy something dark and hard.
Black.
Rock? Ah, you got it again.
Yeah. You're good.
Also,
can't fool you, Tim. You've always got this.
All right, so we have Tim, and then I mentioned Bill here. When they heard the epic cry, they're like, oh, "Did you hear that, Bill? It sounded like Master."
Yeah. No, it's like when an alarm goes off in like a firehouse. Like And they're like, go, this isn't a drill. This isn't a drill.
Quote, with their whips of flame, they smote asunder the webs of Ungoliant, and she quailed and turned to flight, belching black vapors to cover her.
Ugh, she just is not. He just wrote her in a way that's so like disgusting and like scary.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting that she's female. I mean, not that female can't be gross and disgusting, but I just think that it's interesting.
Yeah.
Women are supposed to be pretty.
Yeah.
But I like this term belching that he keeps using, because it makes me think of, speaking of the seeds, the original thought that led to the idea. I have read that Tolkien, he grew up in not always, but his favorite place that he lived, as far as I can tell, was on a farm. I think it was like his aunt's farm or something like that, and it was supposed to be like based on that's what the Shire was based on. And so when he had to move into town, into the city, or when he had to be in the military with all their like gas cars and the like the industrialization of it all, he did not like. That's why the Ents are such a big part of the story, and they're so against Isengard, because it's like the machine. Yeah, exactly. And so belching black vapors, you think of like smog and
exhausts from a car.
Exhaust. Yes, exactly. So I just thought that was an interesting thought.
Wow.
Yeah. Quote.
Oh, Oakley agrees.
Yeah, thank you, Oakley. I thought it was a very smart thought too.
Yeah.
Quote, fleeing from the north, she dwelt in that dark valley that was after called Nan Dungortheb, or the Valley of Dreadful Death, because of the horror that she bred there.
Sheesh. She's the perfect partner for Morgoth. She's very, like, hardcore.
Yeah. But, like, he didn't want anything to do with her. He just used her and,
used her and abused her and left her on the side of the road, and was like, he lied to her, he gaslit her. Jeez.
And then his Balrogs basically, like, whipped her away, like, hiya, get away!
Back, you woman!
But this Valley of Dreadful Death, I mean, they could have just stuck with the Valley of Death, but no, it is a dreadful death. And also, whoever named Death Valley here in America really missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
It could have been called the Valley of Dreadful Death. So, in this place, in the Valley of Dreadful Death, is where she kind of lived for a while. Quote, for other foul creatures of spider form had dwelt there, and she mated with them and devoured them. And even after Ungoliant herself departed and went whither she would, her offspring abode there and wove their hideous webs. Of the fate of Ungoliant no tale tells, yet some have said that she ended long ago, when in her uttermost famine she devoured herself at last.
She ate herself?
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh. I mean, when
Pure
I'm really hungry,
nightmare fuel.
Like, I swear my stomach's gonna eat itself. I'm so hungry. But that's hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
Ew, and she made a bunch of, like, spider babies. Gross.
Mm-hmm. So you think of her Maiar spider combo, and then you think of Melkor's spider creations mating, and what do you get? Scary stuff, but also, do we know another huge, terrifying spider in the Tolkien universe?
Shelob?
Mm-hmm.
So, Shelob isn't the only giant spider. There's other big spiders, but she's, like, the only one that has, like, book credit.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the big spiders in Hobbit get names. I can't remember because
I was reading online somewhere about the names of the big spiders. Like I went down a rabbit hole of like, is Tolkien afraid of spiders? And then it just kind of gave me more of like about the spiders of the Tolkien universe. And it said,
did you already know about Shelob then?
I mean, no. I mean, I knew Shelob was a spider because of the movies and the book, the Lord of the Rings, but I didn't know that she came from that. But it was like this whole like Wikipedia, the Tolkien version of Wikipedia thing about how
those are rabbit holes.
Yeah, about how they have like names for spiders, but the spiders don't like the names.
I don't want to be called Gary.
Yeah. It's like, come on. Like, yeah, it was really funny. I was like, I didn't know that they cared so much, but okay.
I often wonder that with pets. Like, what if they don't want to be called that? I'm choosing that. They have no choice. This is the name that you have to answer to for the rest of their life.
Yeah. It's like the horse from Narnia who talks back.
Oh, I forgot about that. You opened up a memory bank. So, after all that unpleasantness, there actually is one silver lining.
Okay. It's probably very small, but keep going.
Very small, but it's something. So Yavanna feared that with the Silmarils taken, they would be lost forever. And they actually would have if Ungoliant had actually eaten them, because they just are gone after that. So while it is bad that Melkor Morgoth has them, at least they're still around. It could be worse.
Yeah. They're not destroyed or anything.
Yeah. But side note, oh my gosh, how big and scary would she have become after eating all 3 Silmarils? What would have happened? I want that side story, please.
Okay, but I can't handle the fact that she ate herself. Like, what? I'm stuck on that. That's so weird. She's like,
I think it's actually like a spider phenomenon, if I'm correct.
Did they eat themselves?
Dude, hold on.
They had to have that. If that's a true thing, like, come on. Like, they had to add that to be even more freaky. No, thank you. Anyway, so she's just stoked that they're not destroyed.
Oh, man. Okay. So, you want some more nightmare fuel?
No, but okay.
So, this is just what I Googled, the first thing that came up. Take it with a grain of salt, but if a tarantula's leg is severed by something other than a predator and it's there in front of them, they'll often eat it.
Oh my gosh. No. No.
Yeah,
I also, quick other spider fact, because I just learned about it. So I was watching.
Nice! Don't eat us! Don't eat us!
Yeah, the guinea pigs are freaking out. That this lady who breeds spiders for pets, don't even get me started on that, but she had this spider that was a Siamese twin, and it was a conjoined twin of a spider, and it was split down the middle, so it had 16 legs, and it was the most horrifying thing I've ever seen. I was like, no, my eyes.
Oh gosh. Nightmare
you should have
fuel.
Content warning on this episode.
Trigger warning. If you are terrified of spiders, please skip this one.
I know. Anyways,
so Morgoth. He's safe back in his old fortress. The Balrogs, bring him back. Makes himself at home. He gathers up all of his old army. I think of it like in Harry Potter when he's summoning the Death Eaters. Long has it been, 12 years. He fixes things up. He adds some more dungeons and some more vaults. And, he even adds a mountain feature.
He's interior decorating.
actually even exterior decorating. Somehow he reared, or I think the term might be more easily understood as raised. So like somehow he raised 3 mountain peaks above the gates of this fortress.
Wow.
Huh. Then, of course, these mountain peaks get a name.
Of course they do.
Of course they do.
Oakley's excited.
You ready to hear it, Oakley?
Let's do it.
Thangorodrim.
Thangorodrim.
Drim. Thangorodrim.
Thangorodrim.
Yes. Which translates to mountains of oppression.
Jeez.
A happy place. And a great reek of dark smoke was ever wreathed about them. There, countless became the hosts of his beasts and his demons, and the race of the orcs, bred long before, grew and multiplied in the bowels of the earth. So his house got a makeover. So you must be asking, what did Morgoth do with the Silmarils? Oh, he made himself an iron crown. Think how heavy that must have been.
Jeez.
And of course, he crowned himself king of the world.
Of course. It's wow. He's okay, like, and I'm having a great day. I
he has a little checklist.
Yeah, he's like, things I have to do today. Ruin everybody else's life. I just have to get started on that renovation of my house. That bathroom, I want to make it a master bath.
You got to put in that
some landscaping outside.
Okay, but again, we are going to ask the art universe for a major request. Just for the kindness of your heart and the love of all things Tolkien. Are you ready for my request?
Okay.
I want Morgoth with his crown, with his arms stretched out on the Titanic at the front of the ship, and then with Sauron like holding him up a little bit behind, and it says, "I'm king of the world."
A Balrog.
A Balrog, yeah. I'm king of the world.
Yeah.
Please, artists of the Tolkien fandom, unite and make this dream a reality for me.
Or him as Cusco, where he's like, Cusco-topia.
I also kept thinking
it's my birthday present to me.
Yeah, of Meet the Robinsons, when the bowler hat guy is going through his checklist. Oh, I love checklists.
Yeah, yeah. Dinner with myself. I can't cancel that again.
Or that, yes. That's my dad's favorite scene. I swear I've seen that scene like 30 times.
That whole thing.
Oh, yeah. So the Silmarils actually did cause permanent damage to Morgoth. Kind of like we were talking about with the Horcruxes and why can't I think of his name? It's not Gandalf. Dumbledore.
The other Gandalf.
I'm Dumbledore. Dumbledore? No, Dumbledore. Sorry. I like the Lego movie. So, quote, his hands were burned black by the touch of those hallowed jewels, and black they remained ever after. Nor was he ever free from the pain of the burning and the anger of the pain. That crown he never took from his head, though its weight became a deadly weariness.
Sheesh. He's hardcore.
Yeah. So he wants to do things a little differently this time. He realizes that he made some mistakes in the past. He got caught. So he's going to fight his battles a little differently. So instead of being out on the front line, he's actually just going to rule from behind the scenes. He's just going to stay on his throne and focus, quote, on the domination of his servants and the inspiring of them with lust of evil.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's just gonna sit back and let his creations fulfill all his desires.
Yeah, he's more in the propaganda department now.
Yeah.
I forgot the Hitler guy. Was it Goebbels that was the propaganda guy? Can't think of the
Maybe.
name,
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. Sorry.
I'm not super
that are yelling at me right now.
Knowledgeable of that.
I just get the German names mixed up. Sorry, Germany. Quote, nonetheless, his majesty, as one of the Valar, long remained, though turned to terror, and before his face, save the mightiest, sank into a dark pit of fear.
Wow.
All right, bye. Have a good day. That's actually where I'm going to leave you today.
Well, on that happy note.
At least someone got what they wanted.
He's having a great day. Someone also needs to do like a cut where it's like an old sitcom, like an 80s sitcom where it's like a super happy day and it's like he like laughs and like looks at the camera like ha 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 ha, I'm having a great day, you know what I mean? Yes. Like Full House or like something like that.
Yes.
Melkor's great day.
Oh my gosh. Skipping through his dungeons.
Yeah.
Giving all of his orcs new names.
Yeah.
Okay.
A montage of him trying on his different clothes.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm loving this image.
Well, thank you for teaching me today. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For spreading all this happiness and sunshine and all this good stuff, you know?
No problem.
Only good stuff.
I did want to give a shout out. We have some new listeners from different countries that were shocking to me. Would you like to hear where they're from? Just very quickly. Okay. So we're up to 476 plays, in case you wanted to know.
Ooh.
Almost to that 500. I'll just name all of them, just really fast. So we have the US, Australia, United Kingdom, Slovenia, Germany, Brazil, South Africa, I think that's a new one, Canada, the Netherlands, Italy, Kuwait, Pakistan, Finland, France, Poland, Greece, Serbia, and then these three are brand new, New Zealand,
ooh, yay,
Argentina,
ooh,
and India.
Cool.
Thanks for listening to the podcast, those people.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Keep spreading the word. Please rate and review on all the things.
We love doing this, so it's also fun that you guys love listening.
Yes.
The guinea pigs agree.
Yes. And Oakley agrees. Right, Oakley? Yeah,
Did you hear that?
I thought so.
Good timing, Oakley.
I didn't even hear. Did he actually say a word or just that?
He went, yeah!
Oh. Yes, Oakley! I knew we were syncing. All right. Well, until next week, I'm Ashley.
And I'm Abby. Thanks for hanging out with us today. And we'll catch you next time.
Bye! Bye.